Good evening, Dad. Good evening.
Welcome.
So where are you coming from at this time?
I'm coming from church, sir.
But you didn't say you would keep so long. I was worried.
I'm sorry, ma. We went for evangelism and the place was quite far. I had to wait for our leader to drop me and he dropped me right in front of the gate, ma.
So you're still in this business of fellowship and church? Matter of fact, I thought you should have learned your lessons by now. Is that not what you went about university doing that fetched you a third class for that matter?
Dear, who fed you with all this?
His brother, of course. Edward told me everything. Edward told me how his brother abandoned his studies and went all over doing fellowship business. Is Edward not born again? But the boy was serious with his studies. No wonder he ended up well. And he was not a fool. I don't know what you're doing, going around churches and fellowships as if today was Sunday. Even God himself rested on a Sunday for God's sake. Now this is what you have started again. Leaving your work for fellowship. And you think I'll take this?
But sir, I left after close of work. You can ask the manager.
Now will you shut up? Shut up, young man. Look at me. I will not allow that nonsense in my company. I didn't build my company like that. As long as you are under my roof, I will not allow that kind of nonsense. You understand me?
But he said he left after work, dear. I think he's free to do whatever he likes with his free time.
Please, don't give me that. He's our first son, for crying out loud. Can't you see your son is changing? Is this our plan for him? By now, as you yourself know, he should have been on his way out of his country now.
It's true, you are right.
For crying out loud. John here is our first son, and we have good plans from him. It's not that I'm stopping him from going to church, but this church activities is becoming too much and it's making him useless. Even God rested on his Sunday. I mean, as long as you are under my roof, you will have to find a way to stop all these church activities, or else I'll throw you out of the house and the company. Is that understood?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Please get out before you get me agitated. Get out.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Have you secured an employment somewhere else?
No, sir.
Then what's the matter with you? Is there anything the matter with you? Tell me, what's wrong with you? My dear? Caroline! Carol!
Yes.
Come over.
What's happened?
Now you better begin to pray for your son. He came in here and said he wanted to leave the company. And I asked him if he got a new place to go. He said he doesn't have anywhere to go. Now you better talk to him. If he gets out of that company, he's not coming back. I can bet you that.
Why do you want to leave the company?
Mom, I don't have intentions of leaving. But anytime I want to go for fellowship, there's always this consistent misunderstanding and problem that is always coming up every time when I want to go for fellowship. I'm sorry, I can't continue this way.
Can you hear him? Can you hear your own son?
Please, dear, be patient here. Let's hear him out.
I'm involved in some activities in the church. I lead the evangelism unit. And on Saturdays, we are to meet by 5. But the work in that office doesn't allow me to go for fellowship. I need my weekend for God. I can't continue this way.
If you cannot cope with the demands of the company, you are free to leave. Go.
But, my dear, why are you talking like this? He said he needed weekend for himself. Why don't you allow him?
Will you stop this nonsense? Ask him what he's doing on the Saturdays. Is he the only worker in the company that is affected by the Saturday policy?
Saturday was slated for evangelism and mission work. And I cannot be encouraging people to come for the evangelism meeting while I stay back. It is at the time when I want to go for the evangelism meeting that the manager will call me to come and be doing the reconciliation of all the sales accounts throughout the whole week. And we don't finish until about 7 or 8 p.m. in the evening. I can't continue like this. I need my weekend for God, Mom.
Now you get out of this place. If you're ready to do something tangible with your life, then you can come back and let's talk it over. You get out.
My dear, why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like this? See, you have to be patient with this boy. Who knows what God has in store for him? We are Christians too. Why don't you allow him to serve God? Let him have a weekend for himself.
No way. I did not send that boy to school to go and become a pastor. That's not my plan for him. Look at Edward, his brother. He's doing us well, isn't he? And he's making us proud. Edward got first-class honors. What's the result of your son? You tell me. Can that be the will of God? No, never. The problem with him is he allowed this religious stuff to enter his head, which eventually affected his result.
My dear, you know John was not like this before. He was the most serious one academically among the two. Only God knows what's happened.
That is exactly the point I am making. Edward was not as brilliant as John. But the problem with John was that he allowed the religious activities in the campus to go into his head. Am I saying he shouldn't serve God? No, but there's a limit to everything. Let him leave the pastors to do their work. You tell me. Is Edward not a Christian too? But he was wise.
My dear, we can't leave this boy alone. He's not happy. You know, the new rule you gave them in the company is not making him to be happy.
But I actually made that rule in the office because of him. Yes.
But you are losing him, my dear. He's leaving your company.
Don't mind him. He can't go anywhere. He can't get any far. My dear, believe me, your son needs help. And we cannot just leave him, watching him without doing anything about his life. Come. I have a beautiful plan for his life. And I will not stop until I get there. My plan is actually to allow him work for a while and then send him abroad to make a living for himself. But I need to deliver him from this religious stuff first before I finally send him over there.
My dear, he doesn't see all this, even though they are good plans. But I will suggest you call him and explain things to him.
You called for me, sir. Sit down.
John, I called you because I have a very important issue to discuss with you, and I want you to listen very, very attentively. I want you to understand that everything I'm doing is for your own good. And if you could recollect what I told you when you and Edward, your brother, were going into the university. Can you remember?
Yes, sir. You said if we graduated with good grades, you will send us abroad for our masters, sir.
That's not everything. My real intention was for you both to travel there, raise your families there, and settle there. My boy, I suffered a lot in this country before God enabled me to get to this level. And I made up my mind to settle you children in a more comfortable place. I don't want you to experience the same thing I experienced. don't want my children to suffer in life.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
All I'm doing is because of you and your brother. I don't want you to suffer in life, especially you, John. You are my first son, my first child.
Thank you very much, Dad. I really appreciate your love and your care, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
But you don't seem to get me right. You don't understand or appreciate all I'm doing for your sakes.
But why do you say that, sir? Why do you think in that line, sir?
You were really more brilliant than your brother, Edward. But you suddenly allowed yourself to get distracted, and that affected your results very badly. Son, I really wasn't happy because you are the last person I expected to come out with such grades. You're supposed to have traveled to meet your brother by now. John, I'm not happy that you're still in this country.
We will love you to keep on watching our videos.
I am so sorry, sir.
Ensure
Anyway,
you
it's over.
subscribe and like and equally share our
I got over
content.
everything. I
Also
absolutely forgive
touch the
you.
notification button
Thank
for you to
so
be
much.
aware anytime we
Thank
post
you,
new
sir.
content like this. Thank you, viewers.
Now, the good news is that you're traveling to Chicago in 2 months' time. You're going to have to join your brother in the USA. And I've instructed the company secretary to put your papers together for your visa. And the two of you will be going to the embassy next week. John,
Sir.
come on, say something. Are you not excited? Are you not happy about these new plans? Really, I know you were not too happy about separating you and your brother, but all that is over now. And I've forgiven you. And your brother is expecting you in the United States, so you're going to have to prepare to go and join him. And I tell you, Edward is very excited about it. So John, I want you to say something. Come on. Come on.
Dad, I indeed appreciate your love and beautiful plans that you have for us, sir. You are indeed a very good father.
Thank you. Thank you.
But Dad, sincerely speaking, I can't see myself in the United States for now. I may go later, but God did not say it is now, sir.
What did you just say?
Sir, what I mean is that it's actually not God's purpose for me to be in the United States for now, sir. God wants me to fulfill His plan and purpose in this country at the moment, sir.
John, are you okay? Is everything okay with you? Did you hear what you just said? Are you mad? Carol! Caroline!
What is wrong?
Come and look at your son.
What is this noise?
Your son is possessed.
What's wrong? What's wrong with you?
He is charmed. Ha! Kanmushe. Who have I offended? Hey. This is not ordinary, my dear. You better intensify prayers because of this boy, or go seek help from the elders. He is under a serious influence of evil spirits. He is possessed. Ha!
What happened?
Mom, nothing is wrong with me. I only told Dad that I won't be able to travel out of the country at the moment.
You see?
You said that to your dad? Ah,
I feel strongly that God has a special assignment for me in this country, which I'm even yet to fully discover.
Can you hear that? Does that make sense? Caroline, can you hear?
dear, please, just let me have a word with you, okay? Have your seat. John, your dad loves you. And he doesn't want you to suffer. That is why he's working seriously to make sure both of you succeed in life. You know you ought to have traveled abroad with Edward, but you disappointed him with your result. Yet, that didn't stop his plan for you, because he knows you are very brilliant. Only God knows what happened. It may even be the work of our enemies, but they are failed in Jesus' name. John, try and appreciate your father's love and make him happy.
Mom, no enemy from anywhere is involved in this.
Why did you say that?
I think I now understand why God allowed me to have that low grade from the university. Even though I worked very hard and I studied hard because I did not want to disappoint Dad. I wanted him to be happy with my grades. I simply wanted to make him proud. Mom, if I graduated with a first class or a second class upper, I wouldn't have been in this country by now. I would have traveled with Edward for my master's.
That is exactly what your dad will have done.
And that would not have been the will of God for my life.
We're your parents, son, and God expects us to do our best for you. God doesn't want you to suffer. Neither do we. He's a good God.
Mom, you are a child of God. Do you believe God has a specific plan and purpose for every of his own child?
Yes, I do. And he also expects every parent to have good plan for their children, which he himself will bless.
Even if it is contrary to his initial plan for his son's life? Mom, God enabled Edward to have a first class in order for him to travel out, because that is God's plan for him, to be his ambassador in a foreign land. He also allowed me to be in this country to fulfill his own plan. You haven't made any mistake, Mom. God only intruded in your plans to get his purpose established. Mom, I desire strongly to do the will of God.
John, there's nothing good in this country except suffering and injustice. People live in fear and insecurity. But we want you to raise your family in a very peaceful environment where we can come and relax.
Mom, the Lord has been good to you in this country. You raised us here in this country, and He's still keeping you and Dad, despite all the negative situations all around.
Yes, we know, and we always appreciate God for that. But we desire you raise your family in a conducive atmosphere, in a better and a safe place.
No place is safe under this heaven, Mom, except under the shadow of the Almighty, and wherever God locates you. Psalm 91 says, "He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." I am fully convinced that it is the plan of God for Edward to be out of the country, because God needs him there and He will prosper him. He wants me to stay here for now. I promise you, He will prosper me too.
Even if I understand you now, how will your dad understand?
Mom, he is your husband. God will give you the wisdom to convince him. Mom, Every land has its good and bad. But the word of God says in the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 19 and 20 that if we are willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you will be devoured by the sword, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken. There is good in this land, and it shall be ours when we abide in him. The most important thing is for us to be wherever God locates us. And definitely, we will reap the fruit of the land, and he will bless us.
Carol! You go and sleep. I will see you tomorrow. Carol!
Carol! Caroline!
Yes, dear.
What is it now?
I thought you were already sleeping.
Sleeping? What is it? What did you discuss? Has he agreed?
Dear, I think we need to be patient with this boy. You know, I still feel we need to pray about his case, to know more about what God has in store for him. You know, you can't compare children. You know, that is why we have to be patient, not to do anything that will go against the...
Leave me. Is it pray? Pray? Is it prayer we should be praying now? When you knew it's prayer his case needed, why wait till now when you knew his mates and all other brothers are running ahead of him?
Dear, try and understand what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that...
Will you shut up?
Hey.
Oh, go and call him for me. John! John, sir! Come here. You come here. Come here. Come here. Now listen, and listen real well. I don't know the discussion you have with your mom, but I don't really care. And this is my final decision. God knows I have tried my best as a father to make life comfortable for you and my children. But since you have chosen to go against my plans, I'm asking you to leave this house first thing tomorrow morning. You are free to do whatever you like with your life, but always remember that I, your father, have tried my best. I don't want to see you in the company henceforth, and I want you out of this house first thing tomorrow morning, okay?
No, you can't do that. Where do you want him to go? If you should leave the house and the company, where else?
Anyway, I don't care. I have given my last verdict, and that's final.
Where are you going? Joe, take that box back into the room. You are going nowhere.
Mom, please let me go. I'll be fine.
I said no. You are going nowhere. Take the box back into the room.
Mom, you are not with Edward in the United States. So why are you afraid of releasing me into my own destiny, Mom, God is in charge of all this. I'll be back to check on you often. Also, I will surely give you a call. Mom, please, just see the situation the way you see Edward traveling out of the country. I'm still in town, Mom. Please tell Dad that I am not angry with him. I'll call him too.
Call me. Don't know where you'll be. I'll be praying for you, okay? Call me. Don't know where you'll be. Okay. And if you're in need of anything, especially money, don't hesitate to call, okay?